Good day.
Well then, does the best forester in the land have some problems I could help him with?
Henry, you buffoon. I'm not the best in the land, but I'm in these parts, though. Know why? Because I'm the only one here. Well, apart from Varel, that is.
So you don't have any problems?
As it happens, there is something. Recently, my supplies have been running out quickly for some reason. And you know how much I like a drink when I'm taking a break on the bench behind my house.
Indeed I do. It was me who carried you through the forest the last time you took a break.
Aha, these things happen. So, I need to top up my supplies. Run along to Troskovitz for a bottle or two for me. Take this coin here.
And what would you like to drink, gamekeeper of Ostatek?
I call it the poacher's hideout. Mix a goblet of mead with wine, add a bit of saffron.
I've never heard of this poacher's hideout brew before.
Hold on! Poachers! I need help with poachers. The bastards. They think they can turn the woods into their own territory, but they won't get the better of me. I'll send you after them. You're hard as nails, you are. What's more, I'll give you a decent reward for getting rid of them vermin.
That sounds better.
Aye, so I don't forget. Hand back the coin I gave you for the booze.
Of course. Sorry. Here you are.
Well, are you going to do it?
I'll help you with the poachers. The hunters will become the prey.
That's the stuff. They should be trembling already.
Tell me where I can find the poachers then, so I can pounce straight on them.
Hold your horses. I want them alive, not hacked to pieces. So don't butcher them.
I wasn't planning on killing them, you know.
Glad to hear it. You'd be surprised how many hotheads have offered to do just that. I've had enough of hearing, "They're all dead, Vostatek," and then finding out the smart arse spent the whole day in the tavern instead. So if you do kill a poacher, I want proof.
No gutting, you said. So that's settled.
Look, let's get to the point. We have to focus on Rock Tower Pond and the forests around it. That's where game's becoming scarcest.
Where should I look?
I already told you, didn't I? Stop being so scatterbrained, Henry. Try looking around Rock Tower Pond. To the west of the pond, there's some dense forest on the rocks. It's easy to find because there's a small ruined cottage below the woods. Otherwise, it's nothing but boulders and an easy place to break your leg. And someone like me, who likes a drink, well, you know.
I don't have the best memories of that place. We made camp there the first time we came to Trotsky region.
So you could be reminiscing there. Have a swim. It's a nice clean pond. I don't know why people don't fish there instead of poaching. Easier to catch a bite.
Let's say I go into the forest and come across some bloke. What then?
The main thing is to make sure he really is the poacher. We'd have some explaining to do if you accused an innocent man.
That shouldn't be too hard. If he's hunting, I'll seize him. If he isn't, I'll leave him alone.
That's no way to go about it, Henry. You have to be certain, right? The Rock Tower poacher say. He tends to spend the day holed up, only coming out before dawn or after dusk. He probably knows I like to sleep in and spend my evenings having a drink. So I won't be trudging round the pond at those times.
So the best thing would be to catch him in his camp?
Aye. He'll have dead animals, hides, bones, meat. He won't be able to talk his way out of that. Them poachers have also started using signs to mark their hunting grounds. They bend a branch of some pine to make a kind of circle. But what's the point of describing them, since I've got a few samples? They're at my cottage, next to the outhouse, where I have this lean-to. Take a look so you know what to watch out for.
Where should I take the poacher? To you?
To the Troskovitz bailiff, even though he's a bit, well. Look, I'll send him a message so he knows we're going to be bringing him some poachers. It would be just like him to let them go because you were acting without authorization.
Well, you could go with me.
And leave the lodge unattended? Not a chance. Not to mention that leg of mine since I jumped down from the tree.
I understand. You'd rather stand, or rather sit, guard. I'll be off then.
Good luck, and let me know how it goes. I hope you give them what for, because I'm sick and tired of them. They've been at it for 2 months now. Or is it 4?
You can count on me. I'd like to compete at archery.
What's it to be? Longbow or crossbow?
Bow, I reckon.
All right. So what do you feel up to? Want to compete with beginners, advanced archers, or masters? Of course, it's tougher against masters, but you can win more.
Nah, I'd rather not get ahead of myself. I'll try my luck against beginners.
Fine. Of course, it ain't for free, though. Have you got something to wager?
Hang on. I'll see how much I have. Yeah, here it is. So, can we start?
Wait a while until I get the other archers. Meanwhile, you can get ready and wait for the signal. Take up your positions! Now!
So what? In battle, it doesn't matter if you hit the heart or the gut.
Hit!
I hit it! I actually landed the shot!
Oh, come on, just one bullseye. That's all I'm asking.
Nice work, friend. Here's your prize. Every last groschen.
Thank you.
Greetings. Good day to you.
A word about the price.
Sure, why not?
What would you say to this?
You really won't convince me like this. Aye, your pleasure doing business. Take care.
God be with you.
Same to you.
I'd like to discuss the price.
Sure.
Is this enough?
You really won't convince me like this. This is point. I'm done haggling with. Great. Come back anytime, friend.
All right. Done.
God bless.
You know what? I'll buy your sleeping potion recipe after all. Only because it's you.
Look. Aye, I could go for that. Listen up then. You take some poppy and thistle and boil them in oil. Then, after it cools off, you add a little herb Paris.
That doesn't sound too complicated. Thank you. You said you have some more interesting work for me. What would that be?
It's about those two idiot hands of mine, Venser and Franzi. They drove off with a cart full of goods towards Semine, and they never came back.
Do you want me to find them?
Just so. But more importantly, I want to know where my cart ended up, and especially the cargo. Go to Semine and find out what the bloody hell happened.
Have you any idea which way they might have gone? I could have a look along the way. Maybe their cart broke down or something.
There's only one road to Semine that can take a cart. It leads from Takov to Troskovitz, and then to the south. But I've got a bad feeling they got up to no good in Semine.
Those two hands of yours, Venser and Franzi, what can you tell me about them?
Can't tell you much. They're wandering laborers. I don't think they wanted to stay here with me for long. But these days, I can use all the help I can get.
Were they suspicious in any way?
No, they worked hard. They ain't no slackers. And I can't say that about everyone.
What was the cart carrying?
Bugger and bollocks. All sorts of stuff. I'd say Lord Semine wants to rearm his garrison with new equipment. There were some hunting swords, bastard swords, crossbow bolts. I also fixed the trigger on young Semine's crossbow. And some kitchen stuff. Sacks of charcoal, all sorts of things. There's a good month's work in that cartload.
All right. I'll get right on it then.
Go ahead. And if you find that pair of fools drunk, kick their asses for me.
Gladly. I'll kick some sobriety into them.
God bless.
I'd like to hear a good story.
Not so fast, young man.
To your health, my friend.
Thank you very much. I knew you wouldn't leave me high and dry. So what kind of story would you like to hear?
I like stories that can teach me something. Stories with a moral.
Haven't you heard enough of those in church? But it's not a problem. I have just the tale for you. And it's not one you'll hear from any priest. So, once upon a time, there lived in these very lands 2 brothers. The older was called Kuba, the younger, Matthias. They were both woodcutters, like their father and his father before him. One day, at the height of summer, they were working in the woods. The air was as hot as a furnace, so Matthias went to a nearby pond to cool himself. But as he was leaning over the cold water, there was a loud splash. His axe had got loose from his belt. In haste, he began to search the muddy bed of the pond, and his hands soon touched something hard and heavy. He pulled it out and could not believe his eyes. He pulled out an axe. Yes, but not his old one. It was an axe made of pure silver.
Good God. I'd grab that without a second thought.
Maybe you would, But Matthias would never. He was an honest man, and with a big swing he threw the silver axe back. He searched the pond again, and this time he pulled out his own axe. Nothing but dull iron and old wood.
I reckon that was the right choice. Who knows who the silver axe belonged to?
Well, quite. Listen on. Matthias was just about to leave when suddenly a water goblin came out of the pond, silver axe in his hands, and he said, "You're a righteous man, Matthias, and for your honesty, you may keep both axes." Matthias, not hanging around for the goblin to change his mind, took up both axes, gave us thanks, and ran to tell Kuba all about it. Kuba, however, was not best pleased with his little brother's fortune. He deeply envied Matthias for his newfound wealth, so he set out to try the same thing. He ran as fast as his legs could carry him straight to the pond, threw his own axe in, and began a pretend search for it. Yet Kuba had no luck. He pulled out the axe he'd thrown in himself, so he tried again. Tricked by sunlight, he grabbed something shiny, only to pull out his old iron axe again. Enraged, he hurled his axe back into the water and yelled, "Fuck this axe! I want a silver one!" But the water goblin heard his shameful cry and was greatly upset by Kuba's greed. So, when Kuba reached down into the water for a third time, the water goblin seized his hand, pulled him down whole to the dark depths, and drowned him.
That's so cruel. I feel sorry for Kuba.
Aye, and so did Matthias. He went to the water goblin and begged for his brother's body so he could take him home and bury him. But the path back from the pond led over a steep hill, and carrying the weight of the waterlogged body exhausted Matthias. He stopped to rest by an old oak tree, and he used the silver axe to cut off a branch that would serve as a walking stick. But it wasn't enough. Somehow, it was still getting harder to continue up the hill. Then Matthias realized it wasn't his brother's body that was weighing him down. It was the silver axe. The axe was the cause of all this trouble. So he started bashing the silver axe against the big stone with all his might, trying to destroy it. Yet no matter what, he couldn't even make a dent. With the last of his strength, Matthias climbed to the top of the hill. He knew he could go no further, so he found a pretty spot with a view over the valley and dug his brother a grave. There, he buried both his brother and the silver axe that had brought such pain upon them. His final act was to stick the oak branch in the ground by the grave. But lo and behold, the branch grew green leaves and became a tree. The locals have had no dealings with the water goblin since then, but some have had the bad luck to bump into him. And when you walk by the pier, where it all happened, you can still hear his chuckling.
That was a very nice story.
Story? What story? It's the truth.
Innkeeper, what's...
Why hasn't anyone gone looking for the axe then?
Because it brings misfortune. Didn't you listen to me at all? Look for yourself if you wish. Rock Tower Pond isn't far from here. The Water Goblin's Pier is somewhere among the reeds. But leave me out of it. I'm fine here with my drink.
Innkeeper, have you got anything
Farewell.
to eat?
Good day.
Greetings to you.
One beer.
try this again.
And maybe it wouldn't linger on if you got food stuff in your spent, and then gave the bishop's hat a good polish.
Are those dice sad? Metaphor. It's what Aristotle regards as the foundation stone of composition. An ass like you.
Hey, you!
Yes?
How about...
Greeting!
Hey!
Greeting!
Hey!
Greeting!
Hey!
Greeting!
Hey! Is that supposed to be a threat?
Greetings. God be
That's
with
more like it. Who's this that chance has brought my way? I'm Peter, but everyone calls me Hornet.
I'm Henry, Scalets.
Forgive me, but you don't look much like a nobleman.
That I am not.
It's just when you say of Scalets, it has a noble ring to it.
Well, it's just my way of saying I'm not from these parts. Besides, my name doesn't hold a candle to yours, Hornet. How did you come by such a moniker?
After a fight, my opponents say the blows I give them are right stingers. Want to see for yourself?
You roam the world challenging random passers-by to duels.
Exactly.
Is that how you make a living?
Ah, no, not like that. I move from village to village, and people pay me for whatever they happen to need. Sometimes I'm asked to lug some stuff. Other times I guard a caravan. Occasionally I get to intimidate wretches who refuse to pay their debts. As long as I'm getting paid.
You enjoy scaring people in debt, huh?
That doesn't come into it. I've nothing against them. I get paid to deliver this and that from so-and-so. After that, it's none of my concern.
A mountain of muscle for sale.
Exactly. And there's no harm in pitting your fighting skills. So, what do you say?
Let's do it.
Exactly. Now you're talking. What are we fighting for?
I have a proposition. If you win, you take the money. If I win, you teach me some of your skills.
I can tell you how to improve your stamina. How about that?
That's my wager.
Ha! I can't wait to win.
Get away with that weapon!
I'll have a beer.
No, you don't. Bad luck! Ah, fuck that! Bad luck!
I'll be right with you.
Too slow! Wanker!
You're good.
Doesn't matter if the right movie can happen.
Greetings to you.
I'd like to use your services.
Certainly, my
Tend to my wounds, prepare me a bath, and wash my clothes, please.
Great, but it'll cost you.
I'll gladly pay you.
You certainly won't regret it. My baths are first class.
There, all better. I hope that's all your aches and pains taken care of. And take better care of yourself out there, friend.
God be with you. Why linger on? Let's fuck quick and sleep till dawn.
About what I'd expect from you once again.
When does the night have ears? And maybe it wouldn't...
What's going on around here, Innkeep?
You're not going to believe this, but 2 local lads claim they found a water goblin's treasure.
You have a water goblin here?
It would be a wonder if we didn't, with all the ponds around. He's got a hut nearby. If you follow the right bank of the Rock Tower Pond, you'll find it hidden in the reeds.
And what did they find there? Are you sure they didn't make it up?
I thought so too at first. They're foolish lads, so I wouldn't be surprised. But then they ordered wine and paid with silver. Their purse was jingling with groschen.
Where did you say the water goblin's hut was?
If you follow the right bank of the Rock Tower Pond,
Would you happen to know where I could find these lads?
they often swim at the other side of the Rock Tower Pond. There's a pier there by the dam. That's their spot.
Any other news?
Recently, a bunch of charcoal burners who have their kilns on the hill above the Kerchak Pond came here to have a beer. I started talking to them and they told me they almost didn't make it.
Why?
They said a pack of wolves came after them.
Aren't wolves afraid of people?
That's what I thought too. It's strange.
Did they tell you how large the pack was?
They mentioned 3 wolves, but God knows if that's all of them.
Did they tell you where it happened?
In a gorge above the Rock Tower Pond. They noticed the wolves watching them from the rocks. If you climb up those rocks, you'll be able to see the whole pond from there.
Do you have any more news?
By the way, we've put together this wee fight club here. Would you like to try it?
That sounds good. What's it about?
It actually came about by chance when the miller Crazel and me bet on who has the stronger hired hand. Then other blokes from the village joined in, and it's become somewhat of a tradition. By the way, old Olbram from Zheleoth keeps complaining about the Takovites. If you go and see him, I'm sure he'll tell you more about it. But, well, he takes a bit of getting used to, though.
Oh? What do you mean?
You'll see. I mean, here, and that's pretty much everything.
Thanks, Innkeeper. That sounds interesting.
God be with you, neighbor.
Same to you.
Tell me more about these fights of yours.
It's really quite simple. You bet some money and fight against 3 blokes in turn. Our first fighter is Hans, a local musician. He may not look like much, but he knows a few tricks. Then we have Bohunek here. He works with horses, so he has more than enough strength to spare. And then there's Fiala. A good bloke, but Dorothy, his wife, has forbidden him from fighting.
I'd like to try the fights here.
Why not? But it won't be for free. If you don't have enough money, try to go and see Crazel at the mill. He recently bragged he was going to send someone here, but no one has come yet. Maybe you can come to some agreement together.
Fine. I'll go and see him, and we'll see.
Who does he think he is? He's not the one with the itchy prick.
He didn't tell you anything?
He didn't even look at it. He just told me to bugger off.
Ave Maria.
Have you seen Pavlena anywhere, Henry?
Has something happened?
My daughter, Pavlena. Remember her? She was here when I was healing you two.
I remember. What's wrong with her?
She's missing. It's not like her to be wandering around like that. She goes to Troskovitz to sell baskets, but she knows I can't manage on my own, so she never stays away for long. These old eyes of mine can't see nothing much. Pavlena has to take care of me. She's a good girl, that lass of mine. I'm very worried about her. You understand? What if something's happened to her? God forbid. I can't look for her myself, but you could. I know I'm asking a lot of you, but I've no one else to turn to.
Do you think anyone might want to hurt Pavlena?
These are evil times, Henry. I dread to think what could happen to a young girl alone on the road. And besides, the folk in Troskovitz ain't too fond of us.
What have the Truscovitz people got against you? Did something happen?
I'd rather not talk about it, Henry. I wouldn't want you to get the wrong impression about us.
You live completely alone in the middle of the woods. Don't you think I've already got a bad enough impression of you?
And where else would we live, you genius, when we're not wanted? Don't go digging up old wrongs, Henry. And don't insult us.
Where exactly was Pavlena going?
To Truscovitz. She was taking wicker baskets she'd made. She sells them there and uses the coin to buy what we need. Sometimes it takes her a while, but this time she said she'd be right back. I have a bad feeling about this.
Did it occur to you she might have run off? She's a young girl and pretty. What kind of life does she have here in the woods? Maybe she wanted to live a little.
You don't know Pavlena. She's not like that. If she wanted to live a little, she'd tell me straight out. She doesn't keep things from me. Don't imagine I keep her here against her will, or that I don't know what it means to be young.
Pavlena is young and, well, no offence, but you seem a little old to be her mother. Is she really your daughter?
She is. Not by birth, but that doesn't change anything. Her mother died in childbirth, and there was no one but me to take care of her.
And who was Pavlena's birth mother?
A girl from the charcoal burners. They left the county, and I think she had no one else. I buried her myself. No one came for her.
And do you know anything about Pavlena's father?
I don't know who he was. Pavlena's mother was very young, and the fella surely abandoned her when her belly grew. She never told me nothing about him.
Well, as a midwife, I'm sure you've seen it often that, well, that the mother doesn't survive childbirth.
All too often, lad. But that's the lot of women. Or is it any different where you're from?
No, it's not. True enough.
See then? Now, can we just keep our minds on Pavlena?
All right, good wife. I'll try to find Pavlena for you.
Thank you, Henry. Like I said, she was heading for Truscovitz. You should start looking there.
All right. I'll ask around there for her.
And maybe you could look in her room in the loft. My old legs ain't up to climbing stairs, but you might find some clues there.
So, Pavlena, what have you left for me? Hey, this is a boy's cap. Does Pavlena wear it? Or did someone leave it here? She's got unfinished work here. Clothes. If she planned to run away, she'd have taken them with her. Like she got up and went straight out. I had a look in Pavlena's place in the loft.
And? Did you find anything?
She didn't pack up her stuff. I don't think she was planning to be gone for long.
I told you, didn't I? Pavlena wouldn't run off.
I found a cap there. A man's cap. I don't suppose Pavlena would wear something like that.
You're saying she had some young man here? I'd surely have noticed.
I don't know, good wife. I'm just saying what I found.
Could she have found herself a beau in Truscovitz?
She's got unfinished work there. She weaves baskets.
Aye, she usually has a few on the go. but she took them to the market in Troskowitz. We've got nothing here but what we make ourselves, or find in the woods. Pavlena weaves baskets very nicely. Folk buy them from her. It was good to see you, my friend.
What the fuck is this supposed to mean?
Hey, lad. What do you want? Come here.
I'm not going anywhere. Make me.
You're a dead man!
There's something lying over there. I hope it's not Mutt. dead and robbed of everything, just like Capon left him. And there's no trace of Mutt. Oh, a nice bit of venison. And something took a good bite of it. Could Mutt have been here? Mutt's nowhere around. Someone must have taken him in. It's not far to the herb woman's place. Maybe I should ask her whether she's seen him. Have you seen a stray dog around? I thought he was dead, but he's likely still alive.
I'm sorry. I haven't seen any dogs around.
Oh, Sakra. Do you have any idea where else he might have gone?
If I were a dog, I'd go to where there's food. There are plenty of fishermen around the pond, and they're always throwing out leftovers at the tavern.
Do you think he'd go and steal leftover food?
I don't know much about dogs. He could have run into the woods and started hunting. He wouldn't be the first or the last. There's a whole pack of wolves near Semine these days. Maybe your dog's gone feral and is running around with them.
Thanks.
See you later. Have a good evening.
Kajczas more.
Hey, what have I...
Good day.
I've heard incredible things about you. They say you let a fully loaded hay wagon roll over you.
Hi! It was quite the show.
Is that how you usually spend your free time?
Oh, often enough. People like it. But don't think it's some trick. It's the real thing. And it's not easy. It's not just about muscles, but about your overall approach to food and life in general. Being a strongman isn't a trade. It's a way of life.
I believe you. Getting run over by a wagon isn't for everyone.
That's right. Not everyone can do it. But I was nursed by a wild she-bear, so it's no problem for me. Nothing's impossible. Remember that. Nothing's impossible.
What's up? Is everything all right?
Same as usual. Can't complain.
You were raised by a wild bear, you said?
You think I'm lying? Or you're just amazed?
Well, it's just you're the first person I ever met who had that kind of upbringing.
The first? The only one, more like, fella. It was a cruel winter when they found me in that bear's den as a baby.
So you're an orphan?
If we rule out a human baby being born to a bear, then I reckon that's a good bet.
Right. That was stupid.
What?
No, I meant I was being stupid. About the bear thing, of course.
Well, there you go. Nothing's impossible for a man like me. Like I say, nothing's impossible.
I'd be interested to know what you live on.
I had lentils for lunch and bread pudding for dinner. What's it to you?
What do you do, I mean?
Right now, I'm talking to you. Then I'll go and have a bite to eat because I'm starving and need to keep my strength up. It's not so easy. The strongman trade can't be taken lightly.
Don't they say a hungry artist makes for a good artist?
A hungry artist is a bad artist because no one ever earned a crust by going hungry.
What did you do before you took to the road?
How did I become a nomad? It's in my blood. This is my life.
So you've known the Voivod for some time?
Uh-huh. The Voivode is a good fella. I met him this winter and helped him with his horse.
I didn't realize you know about horses.
What? The only thing I know about horses is that they go around on 4 legs. The Voivode's horse died from the cold, so I dragged it to the camp on a handcart, and we turned it into some first-class goulash. At least that old nag was good for something.
What can you do, Tomcat?
Me? Everything. Nothing's impossible.
Come on. Don't tell me you can really do everything.
If I put my mind to it. Try me.
What about swimming?
I've been training to swim in cold water for years. No one can beat me when it comes to swimming under ice.
I'd like to believe that. And seeing it's summer now, I have no other choice. What about climbing?
I can climb any cliff without a rope, just using my bare hands, and then do a backflip off it into a pond.
Jesus, you're a madman.
Not at all. I'd be a madman if I trusted my life to something as crazy as a horse.
Wait, so you're afraid of horses?
Hey, nothing's impossible. But I hate horses with all my guts. I never take risks, and that's why I'll never get on a horse. Not even for a golden goose.
You don't take risks? And what about your strongman antics?
No risk involved. That's years of hard work and training, fella. If I didn't believe in myself and what I do, I'd be long dead.
My name is Henry, and I've heard in the village that you're a renowned strongman, juggler, and moreover, skilled with a weapon. Is that true?
Depends. Why do you ask?
I'm looking for someone to help me.
What's it about?
Well, it's complicated. But the short version is, a few days ago I barely avoided the gravedigger's shovel. I thought I was done for. That's how badly beaten I was. And now, well, I'm feeling a bit unsure in combat. I'll need to regain my confidence, if you know what I mean.
Aye, that I can do. If what you say is true, I could really help you out, friend. I've been missing a good fight around here.
What would you like in return?
Oh, please. I'll do it out of sheer kindness. I don't have anything to do right now anyway. You can pay me next time.
We can start right away.
All right. Follow me to the arena.
Shall we begin?
Here's a practice longsword, so we don't hurt each other. Let's see what you've got. We'll start with exchanges, and if you do well, we'll try something harder. If you're going to attack, commit to it. Don't stop after a single strike. Dish out several. Now I'm going to show you a simple technique that builds on that. You'll attack from the right, then left, then right again. Attacks follow one after the other. And you don't even have to break through your opponent's cover.
So right,
left, and then right again.
Exactly. You could also do it the other way around. I'll let you have exactly 3 strikes, so you're not wasting effort just flailing around.
I get it. Let's do it.
Beautiful! Once more.
Ah!
Well done! Aye, you've got the hang of it. Let's try something more difficult. I'll teach you a real technique. You start with a slash from above, then from the right, and when your opponent expects another attack from above, you do a quick sidestep and drag your blade horizontally across his belly.
So I'll start from the top, then from the right, and then...
From the left. Remember, top, right, and finally left.
All right, let's give it a try.
I'll let you make 3 strikes just like before. No more.
All right. Ah!
Nice. Now do it again. Beautiful. That's that, then. You don't even have to use a longsword for this technique. It'll work with any other weapon.
That'll come in handy.
And one more piece of advice. Any attack can start with this or that technique. Look, if I attack from the right, your riposte will come from above. And that's the first step of this technique. Think about it.
What about other techniques?
I'll teach you even more if you want. But it won't be as cheap. And you'll also have to know a thing or two first. If you prove yourself to me, I'll teach you the best technique of all. Meisterhau, also known as the Master Strike.
How can I prove myself to you so that you'll teach me the Master Strike?
You'll have to defeat me in a sword fight, because this technique only works for swords.
So all I have to do is challenge you?
That's right.
I'll challenge you to a duel then.
Good. Come and join me in the arena.
Shall we begin?
Let's begin. Defend yourself. No chance. No, you don't. Right? No, you don't. Bad luck. Surprised?
So, do you think I have what it takes?
All right. You deserve to be taught the Master Strike. Here's a training sword so he won't get hurt.
Let's get to it.
The pinnacle of swordsmanship are so-called Master Strikes. You can only perform a technique like that with a sword, no matter if it's short or long, or if you're using a shield. What you do need is a blade and a guard that protects your hands. Master Strike is a technique that allows you to counter an opponent's attack with your own. A swordsman that can learn such a technique is undefeatable. Let me show you. Attack me from the right. Watch and learn! Now you try. Master strikes are what elevates the swords above other weapons, and there is no defense against them. You've learned how to parry your opponent's attack with a properly timed block, but this time, you attack instead of blocking. Timing and direction are everything. Hit your opponent at the right time and from the right angle. I'll attack slowly from above. You take up position with your sword below and strike against my attack. But enough talk. Come and try it yourself. Excellent. All right, let's try it once more. But this time, I'll attack from the side. Now pay attention. If I hold my sword to the left, put yours to the right. If I'm on the right, get ready on the left. Master Strike works only with an opposite strike. Otherwise, it's the same. You strike when I begin my attack. Ready?
Always.
Good. Again. That's the way. You're getting the hang of it. Now let's try it for real. I'll fight you normally, and you have to pay attention to which direction I'm attacking from. Then attack from the opposite side.
I understand. Let's start.
You can't just defend. You have to attack directly against my strike. You're getting the hang of it. Again. Beautiful. Try it again. Here's a few more tips. If your opponent knows how to perform a master strike, don't give them an opportunity to use it. Try not to attack from the opposite side. Now for the most important part. You can use a master strike to defend against an opponent's riposte. After a perfect block, your positions are always set. Your opponent knocks your sword to the left, then attacks with a riposte to the right. Until that point, you could only defend yourself with a perfect block. Now you can surprise your opponent with a master strike that he hasn't a hope of blocking. Understand?
That's too much information at once.
All right. I'll try to summarize the most important parts. Try getting your opponent into a position in which you can use the master strike. Do your best to avoid being put in such a position yourself. Watch the position of your sword and use it to decide which technique to use. Better?
Well, we'll see.
Now, it's up to you to learn how to use the master strike in combat.
I'll do my best. Thanks, Tomcat.
Sei gesund.
Ha! It's you, Gajo. Aranka's prophecy is coming true.
What? What Gajo?
You come to save our family from this disaster.
Hold your horses. Slow down and tell me what happened.
How can I slow down, Gajo, when my Shea Marika is gone? My only daughter, gone. Her empty tent is all that is left of her. If Aranka's prophecy is true, you must help me.
What prophecy? By all that's holy.
Miri Romni had vision, and she described a Gajo just like you. She say a stranger coming, not like us, different. And he will help our family, our honor. And I believe her every word. She's never wrong, Shosha.
So she disappeared out of the blue?
On my honor as voivode of this camp. One moment she's here, next moment gone. We search for her, but not find. Then Aranka has vision. So we wait for Gajo, who will help us. And now, waiting is over. It's written in stars and how birds fly. I know nothing of such things, but everything Aranka says is true. Will you help me? Will you help an unfortunate voivode? I will reward you, do not worry.
I'll help you. I'm sure we'll find her.
Dear God, I know something good will happen the moment when I see you.
But hold on. You have to tell me more about Marika. Where and when did you last see her?
It has been 2 days. We even follow her tracks past her woman's hut, and then on towards Apollonia.
You mean Bojana, the herbalist? She didn't advise you?
I do not know the Johani's name. But I know she does not like nomads. She say she don't know anything. And if she know, she will not tell us. Such disrespect. Pooh! Be bucked!
Voivod, I know it's hard to accept, but could your daughter have been...
No!
But...
I said no!
I just mean...
I am Voivod. And that means I'm wisest in all camp. I have letter of safe conduct from the king, guaranteeing safety and freedom for my camp. And when I know something, I know it. Tana?
Where's her tent? Maybe I can find something in there that'll help with the search.
We look through everything here. The Tseratu. Nothing.
Still, I'd at least give it a try.
Mishto. But don't waste time. Marika, she sleep under a kind of oilcloth right next to Aranka's shop. She always liked the open air.
God be with you.
I think I know everything I need to know.
Please, find Marika and bring her back.
Good day to you.
God be with you.
Da bist du.
God be with you, neighbor.
Nice scarf. Must have belonged to Marika.
Greetings.
Hail Mary.
My dog got lost not far from here. Did you see him by any chance?
I haven't seen any dogs round here for a while, but I hear there's wolves in the forest causing problems. Just the other day, a shepherd boy from Copenina complained that his sheep were being eaten by the flea-ridden beasts.
Where can I find this shepherd?
Siegfried? He has a hut at Copenina. It's just below the castle, on the back slope of the hill.
And you haven't heard anything else about wild dogs?
Here, in the tavern? No, but there was a fella here who gets by doing a bit of poaching. He said once he was hunting when, right in front of him, a large pack attacked a deer. A mix of wolves and dogs, he said. That's not something you see every day.
Do you know where that was?
How would I know where he goes hunting? But I'd say it was in the forest.
Excuse me, I'm looking for a friend of mine. He's not from round here, but...
Let me guess. A dirty ruffian who ain't got a groschen to his name but acts like he owns the bloody place.
He was here then?
Aye, he was. He was larging it up good and proper, and then he found some lads who paid his bill, unfortunately.
What do you mean by that? Why unfortunately?
Because they're right ruffians who are always up to no good. But still, birds of a feather, eh? In the end, they left like best pals, but got no idea where they went. Farewell.
Could this be the pier from Zdeněk's story? He said Matthias carried Kuba's body up the hill from here. Up to an old oak tree. So this is the water goblin's hut.